A precious good morning to everyone. My name is Vishainavi. I am studying at TSWRS JC Girls, Chinnabonala in Rajanna Srishla district. Today I am going to discuss very interesting concept in mathematics. I hope you all eagerly waiting to listen to today's concept. But before going to start my session, let me tell you a small story. Respiratory volume tell us about the physical condition of the lungs. Varun is suffering from COVID positive, and the 5th day he is suffering from fever and cough and lung function and shortness of breath. When doctors examined and told his lung function damaged and his expiration is very low. What is meant by respiratory volume? How can we measure? Why does the lung capacity decrease in disease session? Now, let us know the answers for this in this session. Without delay, let me introduce my topic. My topic is measure and compare lung capacity. Before going to start my session, let you know my objectives. At the end of this session, you will be able to study the respiratory system, conduct an experiment to measure lung capacity, identify the different types of lung functional tests, differentiate what factors affect lung capacity, identify how maths concept used to study lung capacity, identify the tips to preserve the health of the lungs, and explain how does the coronavirus affect lung capacity. The lungs and respiratory system allow us to breathe. They bring oxygen into our bodies is called inhalation or inspiration. And send carbon dioxide out is called exhalation or expiration. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide is called respiration. The respiratory system includes nose, mouth, throat, voice box, windpipe, lungs. Air enters the respiratory system through the nose or the mouth. If it goes to nostrils, also called as the nares, the air will be open and purified. Tiny hairs called cilia protect the nasal passageways and other parts of the respiratory tract, filtering out dust and other particles that enter the nose or the mouth through the breathed air. Now, let us see how does the respiratory system and lungs work. The cells in our body need oxygen to stay alive, and carbon dioxide make nerve bodies as well as their jobs. The lungs and respiratory system allow oxygen in the air to be taken into our body, while also letting the get rid of body carbon dioxide is breathed out. When we breathe in diaphragm, it moves upward to the abdomen and the rib muscles pull the ribs upward and outward. These cause the chest cavity bigger and pulls air through the nose or the mouth into the lungs. With each inhalation, air fills a large portion, millions of alveoli, in a process called diffusion. Oxygen moves from the alveoli through the tiny blood vessels and it moves from the bloodstream where it most dissolves the plasma of the blood. And it pumps to the arteries oxygen throughout the body. In the tiny capillaries, the body tissues move from the oxygen and it is freed from the hemoglobin and moves into the cells as they do their work and moves out the cell in the capillaries where it most dissolves the plasma of the blood, and blood rich in carbon dioxide and returns to the heart via the veins of the heart, and it passes to the lungs, and carbon dioxide is to be exhaled. Now let us do an experiment to measure our lung capacity. This is what you do every day to live, right? I mean, you inhale and exhale. That is why it works. In whole process, lungs, what is involved in respiration. Will be surprised to know how much air do we inhale and exhale. Have you wondered what is the capacity of our lungs? That the amount of air an average human being breathes every day is around 11,000 liters of air. And today I'm going to help you to work on a simple experiment to measure the lung capacity at first attempt or at one attempt. This is actually used to you to find the amount of air that you breathe. Generally, we learn the capacity in mathematics. Capacity means the maximum amount that something can produce or the maximum amount that something can contain is called capacity. And the lung capacity means the maximum amount that our lungs can hold is called lung capacity. Right, let us start the experiment. Here we have a pipe, measuring cylinder, container, and a large plastic bottle. Here you pour 250 ml of water and mark out, and up to these marks and pour another 250 ml into the bottle. Then put this bottle upside down into a container which contains 3 centimeters of water. Now invert the pipe into the bottle. Then blow gently into the other end of the pipe. But before that, you deep breathe and blow gently into the bottle until your lungs are empty. Like this it happens, all the air you breathe, it pushes into the container. Now let us count the marks or the units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it's 7. Here you first multiply into 7. 7 zeros are 0, 7 5s are 35, 7 2s are 40. If we add 3, we get 17. We know that 1000 ml is equals to 1 liter. Here we need to divide 1000 by 1750. 1750. By shifting these units, we get is a good time to try this experiment. Now, let us know what are lung function tests. Lung function tests are also known as the pulmonary function test or PFTS, or a group of tests that will check your lungs are working right. Here, these tests look how much air does your lungs can hold, how well you move air in and out of your lungs, how can you move the oxygen into the bloodstream, and the blood cells need oxygen to stay alive and grow healthy. There are several types of lung functional tests, including spirometry, lung volume test, gas diffusion test, and exercise stress test. Spirometry is the most common lung function test. It measures the amount of air, how much and how quickly we can move air. Next, lung volume test. This test measures the amount of air that remains after you exhale as much as you can. And next one, gas diffusion test. This tests how oxygen and other gases move from the lungs to the bloodstream. Next, gas diffusion test. These tests measures how oxygen and other gases move from the lungs to the bloodstream. Next, exercise test. These tests refer how lung function test. Why do we need a lung function test? We may need this finding also breathing problems, diagnose and monitor chronic lung diseases, including asthma and pulmonary diseases. Check if your lungs are working. See if your lungs function is working before surgery. Check the exposure and other substance or the chemicals at home or workplace that cause it to lung damage. What are they used for? This may you know. Have problem of short have a cellular disease that can damage your connective tissue, and have a sarcoidosis that can damage a cell around the lung and liver and other organs. Had a respiratory surgery, have a infection, are scheduled for operations such as abdominal or lung surgery. Now let us see about tidal volume. Tidal volume is the amount of air that we move in and out of our lungs. With each respiratory cycle, it measures 500 ml in an average healthy adult male and approximately 400 ml in an healthy adult female. The curve goes up when we inhale and comes down with exhale. Expiratory volume is registered by using graphs to overcome spirometry. Here, the percentage predicted by FEVR volume result 80% or normal and 70% to 79% midly abnormal and 70% to 79% moderately abnormal, 50% to 59% moderately severely abnormal, and the amount that this we use maths graphs in maths here. Now, let us see what factors affect lung capacity. An average normal condition, an average adult take 10 to 15 breaths a minute. A breath is one complete respiratory cycle. It consists one inspiration and one expiration. An instrument is used to call spirometry. This test measures the volume of air that we move in and out. Is called a spirometry. Respiratory volume is the most important aspect because they can provide important information to the lungs about the physical condition. Factors such as age, sex, body build, and physical conditioning or the influence of lung volumes and capacities. Here, first we need lung capacities. And now let us learn about the tips to preserve lung health. Exercise cannot reverse lung damage, but they can help a person to use their lungs to their fullest capacity. There are some other ways to preserve lung health, such as refraining from smoking, drinking plenty of water, staying physically activities. If a person has the symptoms of poor lung breathing, such as a shortness of breath, and during daily activities, they will not go away. They should contact a doctor. Now, when do breathing exercise work? Aerobic exercise can help to improve the health of the heart and keep the lungs more efficiently. Lung specialist pulmonary breathing exercise for the people with COPD and asthma can help to keep their lungs strong. Deep breathing exercise may help to increase the lung capacity, and the British Capacity Foundation says that the deep breathing exercise may help to increase the lung capacity and clear the muscles after the lungs, allowing pneumonia to circulate more air. To perform these activities, we need to take 12 to 15 breaths a minute and repeat a couple of times. Just like other exercise such as a partial lip breathing can help to manage breathlessness problems during a respiratory illness. According to the National Institute Health Care and Excellence said these may breathlessness caused by COVID-19. However, researchers have not looked into the effects of people with lung capacity in COVID-19. And also they can help to keep our lungs healthy. Now let us see about coronavirus. As a respiratory disease, coronavirus attacks our body primarily, and also they can affect our lungs itself. Sweep invaders away. Our body's first goal is get invaders away as coronavirus soon it has. And the cells sweep the coronavirus away from the lungs as the coronavirus allow in the mucus and your stomach acids destroy the coronavirus and it exits from the body. It contains and there is no more coronavirus. It accomplished by the machine. Now let us see the recreate to eat the defenders. If defenders to eat the coronavirus. The coronavirus is still present in your body. They recreate cytokines. The cytokines is a small proteins important in cell signaling. In response, the cytokines recreate white blood cells like macrophage. Macrophage is nothing but it is a big eater. The hungry guys can eat up the coronavirus. And when do COVID-19 cases need immediate care? COVID-19 cases need immediate care when they have a shortness of breath and illness. The shortness of breath may feel like can't feel your air with lungs, and every inhale makes you cough, feels like you're suffocating, chest pain, or shortness of breath. According to some researchers, the shortness of breath in COVID-19 patients is 4 or 8 days. And when the COVID-19 patients feel, they do not feel any breathing problems when their oxygen levels are low. Doctors are called this as a silent hypoxia because how harder it is to monitor the corona symptoms and underlying the condition. Now, it's time for project. Find the capacity of your lungs. Find the capacity of your lungs, which we have discussed in this session. I convey my valuable thanks to Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar Sir Garu and also my beloved principal madam, Miss Varuparani Madam Garu, and my mentor teacher, Chandana Madam Garu, and my parents and teachers who are beside of me as a super students.
Okay, thank you, Shainavi. That was a nice presentation. So we have some questions for you. I would like to ask you that is there anything like a particular people should not take this spirometry test?
Yeah, ma'am, it's good question. The people who are suffering with heart attack and had a eye surgery and the collapse of lung diseases, they should not take the spirometry test.
Okay, thank you. And also, so what are the factors that affect this diffusion capacity?
Yeah, ma'am. Body size and also the factors which can ventilation, ventilation, ventilation pursuit characterizes. They should affect the factors.
Okay, thank you. And also, does our diet have a role in the function of lungs?
Yes, ma'am. Our diet will impact on our lungs.
Okay, and also, so what is the average time on a treadmill for a stress test?
Yes, madam. In whole process, it takes 45 minutes to 1 hour, but the actual time the test takes is 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Shanavi. We are done.
Thank you, ma'am.